Guys, what I wanted to share with you is also a very interesting speaker. Catherine, thank you very much. Catherine is from NEO. And we were trying to get an interview with you in Hyderabad a couple of days ago. Then today, it never, you know, we could never, we could never find time for this. But finally, you got a few minutes, and thanks a lot for actually joining us.
Thank you very much for inviting me to this interview.
Thank you. Yeah. So, just a few words about, you know, maybe for those who are a little bit not familiar with what NEO is exactly. A couple of words of what exactly you have as the ecosystem, and maybe comparing yourself with the well-known Ethereum, foundation and the whole the platform. How you different? How you better? And what are you?
Okay, so NEO is a public chain. So we are a platform using the blockchain technology and digital identity applications to digitize all the assets, and then use the NEO smart contract to manage all these digital assets on the network. So our vision is to build a smart economy. So how we define smart economy in three ways. It's a digital economy, programmable economy, and a trust-free economy. Which are not so difficult to understand, right? We all know a little bit about the blockchain technology features. So the difference between NEO and Ethereum actually is quite huge. First of all, the design mindset is different. So for NEO, we are building a platform which is ready to be compliance ready and regulatory friendly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's very different. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. So we choose the DBFT. We created the DBFT consensus algorithm, which we believe is the best consensus algorithm to build the smart economy to reach our goal. Yeah. So based on this consensus algorithm, we are able to have a very fast transit per second because it only needs one confirmation for each transaction to be. Nice. Yeah. And also we have perfect finalities. It's non-forkable. So different from the POW consensus mechanism of Ethereum, right? And some other differences are like our platform supports most of the mainstream programming languages like C#, Python, JavaScript, Go, C++, etc. So
it's very handy for like a lot of developers.
That's right.
Not
that's
only
right.
Solidity. Yeah.
So that means that the learning curve is extremely short for the developers. Right. So it makes it very easy for us to attract developers who switching, and there are many others like our community is also have a different mindset comparing to other platforms like Bitcoin or Ethereum. We consider ourselves are more pragmatic, so we don't have such an we have such a non-anarchism mindset. Right? So we believe that. We try to build a bridge between the real-world activities with the future decentralized blockchain world. So we really want to use the technology to let it benefit the real-world activities rather than disrupt everything.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's definitely. I mean, once you disrupt something, you have to build, right?
We think in many occasions it will be absorbed. Right. They will absorb the new technologies and be integrated.
Sure. Now, when we talk about, I mean, if you look in the landscape of the blockchain industry at the moment, there's apparently very big players in the exchange space, of course, funds, platforms and protocols. And around these big players, there's usually like different, I don't know, companies or maybe divisions that are actually doing different things, right? I mean, if we talk about Binance, there is the Binance Labs that are raising and accelerating programs. There is a fund that's actually financing this. I mean, tons of things. Do you also have all, like separate divisions, or you're focusing on something very, very specific? How are you structured?
So for NEO, we have a foundation, NEO Foundation, which is responsible for the vision and strategy setting, and also decide how to spend the money, the tokens, because we have the 50% token reserved since the beginning. And then under the leadership of NEO Foundation, there is an organization called NGD, NEO Global Development, where I am working with it. So this NGD is in charge for the execution, daily operation and execution of the strategy set by the foundation. Okay. So within this NGD, we have three sectors: R&D, tech-focused, and then second is marketing, community operations, and the third one is business development, mainly for the partnership with external enterprises. This is the structure. And then we have another branch, separate branch. It's NGC called NEO Global Capital. So this is an investment vehicle solely funded by NEO Foundation. So they are a registered crypto fund in Singapore, and they are one of the biggest crypto fund worldwide so far.
Right. Wow, impressive. Now, just in terms of your tasks at the moment, right? What is your major focus? Like, what's your biggest bottleneck for for NEO to become the global leader in the coming few years, and how do you address that problem or that task really?
Okay. So for NEO, we are a project that very much focus on technology and also developer community building. So you can see that. Sometimes people complain that we do not do too much marketing like other projects. We admit
you
that.
can only focus on some things, right? I mean, on the real things.
Yeah, it's somehow like a nature born in the project since the very beginning, but also we are trying to improve. It's good and bad. So good is that we are very much focused on the tech development, right? We don't try to hype to attract people.
And that's very true. I can totally agree with that.
Right.
Because some of the projects that are coming from you and the actual stages of development of the core platform is phenomenal. I mean, compared to many that are out there.
And but also we also realize there are downside. Because when we have a community that's growing bigger and bigger, and especially the investor communities, they're very eager to know about everything happening within the organization, the platform, the ecosystem. So they need to have really in-time communication, the transparency. They expect this to be done through the marketing channel. So we are also trying to improve also in this way. And talking about the community, we do a lot of initiatives in building the community. We do workshops, meetups, hackathons every month across the world. And also we do DevCon. We have the first DevCon January this year, which was very phenomenal.
And we were quite ashamed to say that we didn't come to it for some reasons that we didn't.
You're invited for the next one.
Thank you very much. When is it on, by the way?
Last time was the end of January, so we expect it will happen in the same season.
All right, very good. Thank you very much. We'll definitely try to make our best to be there. Cool. If I would try to rephrase you, would it be correct to say that the majority of things that you're trying to do is to actually bring more adoption to the protocol at the moment? Having more projects built on the NEO blockchain, and on the corporate level, and maybe on the private and startup level as well.
That's true, because we position ourselves as a platform for decentralized applications to build on top. So we also set a very ambitious goal, which has announced by Da Hongfei in many occasions publicly. We try to become the #1 blockchain by 2020.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So the #1 meaning doesn't mean the highest prize or the #1 ranking in market cap. It means that we want to become the go-to platform for decentralized applications.
I see. Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And just going backwards a little bit to the complaints that you hear from the community, and you were saying this, there were a lot of talks about the head team that you had, right? People leaving from NEO, then something like that. Can you comment on this one? Like, what's happening? Because there were some mixed signals, of course, in the industry, and some of them got very nervous. What's happening? Sorry for maybe not comfortable question.
This, I can very straightforward telling you that this is really a baseless rumors. NEO and ontology, I have to explain this way. So Neo, we started the projects with Neo, two founders, right? And when they start building the project, they come across many requests from enterprises for blockchain solution consultancies. So that's why they decided to set up a private company called OnChain separately. And then this OnChain company, through a couple of years development, they started this project called Ontology, which is designed to focus on the digital identity and data exchanges. Yeah. So the Neo team is very much community focused. We have a very lean team of 40 people based in Shanghai, and we have a huge community that is engaging in the development of the platform. And then Ontology has a different approach. It is supported wholly. The team is the on-chain team, so it's all in-house developers, right? The two separate projects, no cross on human resources, and there is zero employee transfer from Neo to.
And the markets are different, by the way, right? Because the corporate or the enterprise level sort of solutions, it's one thing, and then of course the open source sort of.
Both are open source. Source, but the vision is different.
Right.
Neo is vision as a smart economy, to build smart economy, while Ontology, they are focused on digital identity and data exchange.
Okay, I see. And it's also very interesting with the approach that you select the projects that you support with with the fund and with your community as well. One of the cases, of course, is one of the latest projects, NOS, right? Where you basically I mean, not discussing the details of it, but I just wanted to point out that the approach that I don't know, the team and yourself selected were. The investments that this project was basically collecting was only collected from developers, right? Not from your traditional investors, bounty hunters, and flippers and whatever.
Well, this project, we personally don't invest. We don't work within this project, but it's a project created by member developers of City of Zion, which is the most active developer within our community. So the founder is Dean van Duchteren, and a team based in Europe, and they are doing very successful by trying to create an ecosystem through the ICO stage. Different from others, the ICO for them is not for the purpose for fundraising, but more for the purpose of the ecosystem building. So through this pre-sale stage, I think they already have like over 60 decentralized applications built on top of NOS platform. The NOS platform is built on top of Neo. So this is one of the success case within our ecosystem. And of course, there are many others like an NEX. Many of us know about it. It's a decentralized exchange, which also we consider the decentralized exchange will be the future killer app. For Neo, we have all these ingredients to build a very perfect decentralized exchange.
What does it take to make this killer app, though? I mean, everybody's expecting and waiting, honestly, right, for those applications of the protocols in different industries. Usually, exchanges to come as first, maybe gaming or gambling industries as well, digital identities. I know IoT is probably a little bit, lagging behind because of the, the mass adoption and so on. So, where do you see the fastest, application of blockchain, and why?
The fastest application?
Like massive applications, not
massive application. Well, I think we just talked about the decentralized exchanges, and then we talked about NOS, which is the operating system on top of Neo. So these are all belong to the infrastructure protocol projects. And then besides, we think gaming industries, gaming applications can become natural, become an entrance for mass adoption. And Neo, we are also putting a lot of effort right now to try to build a new game ecosystem. So maybe you have noticed that we have started the new game competition in mid of May. and it's going on until mid of August. So we already received submissions of over 120 teams globally. Yes, yes,
that's a lot.
A lot of very interesting games of different kinds, not just like kitties or doggies or different kinds. So we are very looking forward to see how this will prosper. And helping to bring the blockchain technology to the general public.
Right, great. If you had maybe a couple of advice, points for investors on one hand, in terms of where to look for, where to probably put your money in terms of, trying industries, projects, geographies maybe as one hand, and second thing to the projects who are trying to raise money through the progress of ICO, what would be your advice to to these two groups right now?
I think I don't give a investment.
No, of course. I mean, this is like the big disclaimer there, of course.
But if we are talking about
where would you look?
How to differentiate, evaluate blockchain projects, the fundamental thing I think is still the product itself, the team, and the product. It has to be technology, and technology. That's a fundamental.
Right. Okay. So that's both for the projects and for the investors, you would say.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah.
My personal.
That's very but that's good. I mean, because the more simple you get it, the more focused you are basically. So thanks very much for this very interesting, insightful talks. And
thank you, Oleg.
Well, let's hope to see you around, in some other parts of the world at the conferences.
I look forward to seeing you in the DevCon next year.
Oh, please! Thanks very much for the invitation.
Thank you.
All the best.